Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Tales of the Tide. Obviously, as you can see, there are no special guests to the right or the left of me, and it's just me today. This is the very first one I'm doing by myself. Um, I'm excited to get to it, and today's topic for the podcast is just going to be, what does it mean to be like a human being? You know, what is life? Uh, Kind of a deeper topic than the last episode, but also one that you can have some fun with, and when you really sit there and think about it. And it's just kind of the main part I want to start with is like, who are we? When you wake up and you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, who do you see? What do you see? What do you envision? And where do you want to be? And how this topic actually came about to me is in one of my college courses, I had to write a paper about some sort of celebrity or some sort of passage in a book or something that we have read or heard, or some sort of quote or something that meant something to us um, as a person, and we had to write a paper about that. It was not like an essay or anything, just like a small little journal entry that I actually sat down and thought about with my professor for a hot minute, and I was like, I'm really not sure in which direction to go because um, I could go down the sports avenue. I can go down, celebrities, books I've read, news articles I've seen, songs I've heard, all sorts of things. And there's a lot of different things that could kind of overwhelm me with that. But ultimately, what I was led to was the Matthew McConaughey um, Oscars speech that he received when he talked about who was like his who did he look up to, and who is he chasing? And he's basically just to sum up the video very shortly for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. He just kind of talks about how somebody came up to him as a young child when he was younger, and they asked him like, "Who is your dream? Who do you look up to?" And he was like, ask me in 5 years. Like ask me in 5 years what my goals are and what I'm chasing and stuff. And then 5 years goes by, the same person comes up and asks him, well, like have you, thought about it? Have you done it? And he says, ask me in 5 years. And basically, I was really intrigued by this because there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. When someone comes up to you and says, hey, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do with yourself? It can be a very overwhelming question. The fact that there are so many things for us to do as human beings, as people, as, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, sons, daughters, parents, whatever, that that is such a loaded question. And the more that you think about it, the more in depth you can get about it. And I kind of realized as I was writing this paper that like no matter what we say to answer that question, there's always more we can add on to it. For example, if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, where do you want to be in 5 years?" Well, in 5 years, I want to graduate college and get a job and start a family. Okay, what do you want to do with that family? Who do you want that family to be with? You know, how do you want to support that family? What job do you want to have? Where do you want to work? There are so many things that go into us being human beings and us interacting with the people that are around us and why we do the things that we do that I don't think is highlighted enough in society. I think with the day and age that we live in with social media and everything, it's more of just like a look at this, look at that. I was in Aruba, I was in Jamaica, I'm with this person, with that person, I'm doing this and this, not why, just asking why about things. What am I doing here? Why am I doing this? What am I getting out of it? Type of lifestyle, which is not to deter from, going on vacation. If, oh, I'm just in Jamaica for vacation, there's not really a reason. I just wanted to go and see and relax. That I'm not trying to discredit that because I think that is something important. But I think something that needs to be highlighted more in society is why we do what we do and what makes us who we are. You know, in a society where people just kind of do whatever's easiest. And I'm, a guilty man of this. It is kind of just like, oh, I could go to class right now, or I could just skip it and make up the work next week. Um, but why? What do I gain out of that? And who does that make me as a person? I think these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, and I don't think that it's highlighted enough. I mean, um, why do I hang out with the people I hang out with? Why do I make the decisions I do? And all of these things that lead to us as human beings. Um, I think that as a human, as a person, we have rights and wrongs. We have, questions and answers to things. And obviously, we can't be perfect people. There's just no way to do that. But what we can do is figure out and understand our why and how our why shapes and defines us as people. You know, oh, I'm gonna go visit my friend. He's in the hospital right now. Why? Because he's my friend. I support him. I care about him, and I love him. That shapes who you are as a human being. Um, and that's a bit of an extreme example, but that is those are the types of situations where it's like, what can I do that defines me? And I think that we see that a lot in media and fictional culture, movies, books, and stuff. You look at characters like Spider-Man. That's just one that comes to mind, I guess, because you know you see his actions as a superhero and you see his actions as a human being. Why does he do what he does? Because that's who he is. Um, and I think that a big thing that also segues into is I've made mistakes, so does that just make me a bad person? And I would say no. I would say that everyone and everybody, has the ability to do good and be good. Um, and obviously there are people that are doing good and being good and all those things. And obviously there are people that take advantage of their power or whatever over people and do bad things and are bad people. But for, somebody who has gone and done something bad to somebody, talked bad about them, uh, discredited them, or, anything. There's a whole list of examples. I don't think that automatically puts you as a bad person and puts you in an unforgivable position and doesn't shape who you are. I think forgiveness is something that is just an unbelievable thing in the fact that it's so powerful. It's so powerful in the fact that when you can forgive someone, it relieves the stress off of you, off of them. It establishes that connection of, hey, I understand you were wrong. You understand you were wrong. That's life, man. We're humans. We're going to be wrong. Um, and obviously there are some things where it's like, I'm sorry, I can't forgive you for what you did. And I don't hate that statement, but I don't I almost don't agree with it. For example, um, I'm not when you forgive someone, you don't have to sit there and be like, yeah, now we're cool, we're back to the way we were. But when you forgive someone, you're saying, I know what you did was wrong, and I know that you are a human being and that you are capable of goodness and you are capable of righteousness and all these other things. And I hope that you can achieve that one day, but just not with me or not, you know, with me involved in it or whatever, you know. And that is forgiveness still. Um, but forgiveness is just such a hot topic in today's society because in the age that we live in, it is so easy and quick to jump on somebody for making a mistake. Um, you know, it's so easy to just block and ghost someone or, whatever. Stop talking to them, move on, forget about them, delete your pictures of them, whatever. And it's so easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of emotions and rumors and stuff because, all it takes is 30 seconds for me to say, hey, so and so said this and did this because of this. Whether it's true or not, nobody knows. You don't know if I'm telling the truth or not through my phone or, email or whatever. And then all that person has to do is press one button and it's done. Um, aren't uh, in each other's lives anymore. And it's shameful because that's not what human beings should be, in my opinion. What human beings should be are emotionally and like mentally well-grounded, stable beings that we can all work well and support one another. Obviously I've met and, interacted with people where I don't agree with what you're saying. I don't agree with, how you feel or blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't mean you're not a human being. That doesn't mean I can't value your opinion and your credit and all these things. Um, because at the end of the day, you're breathing the same air as me. You got, the same blood in your veins as I do. Like we're human. And I think that in today's society is so overlooked. Um, I've never met somebody where it's like I can't see eye to eye with you, you know. And I think that is something that needs to be more focused on in society is being able to understand and see where other people come from. You know, somebody down the road from you doesn't live the same life just because they're on the same street as you. You know, just because you go to the same school as somebody doesn't mean they have the same sort of, family life at home or same sort of friend group or, relationship status, etc. It goes on. And being able to be like, hey, you and I don't share this in common, but we share the fact that we're humans, and that is something that just really hurts me because you see so many things in media of, people doing a lot of horrendous things toward each other, toward groups of people, toward, whatever. And it's just like, why? It leads me back to what I first was talking about. Like, why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? Oh, they're emotionally and mentally unwell or whatever, but we're humans. Like, why can't I struggle with the fact that why can't we see each other as human beings who go through similar struggles together, go through similar feelings. Like how I feel pain is just how you and everyone else feels pain. Now, I might be feeling it on a different level because I have, X, Y, and Z going on in my life. Um, but you also might have a better support system around you. So the ability to, again, brings me back to my first point, look in the mirror and see what I have. I have, loving parents and loving friends that support me and blah, 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 whatever. But the guy next door, I don't know too much about him, but I know his parents aren't in the picture. I don't see him, hanging out with anybody. I see him eating lunch at the cafeteria every day alone or whatever. So why, as a society, do we ignore those things? Why do we not pick up on those things and be like, hey, you're human, I'm human, you know? I think relationships and friendships today are so established on like specific uh common grounds. Oh, you like football, I like football. We're friends. Oh, you play football, I play football. We're friends. You watch Star Wars, I watch Star Wars. Cool, we're friends. Oh, you watch Star Trek? Nah, like we're not friends. I don't like you. I just don't understand that because what makes them different? And the those are very minimalistic examples, but it can go as far as you're Democratic, you're Republican, you are, uh, who knows what. I mean, the examples can get as extreme as you want, and they can get as, simple and easy as you want, and it's literally the same thing. We are human beings at the end of the day. Why can't we treat each other with respect and help each other? Um, and another big reason as to why I've been thinking about this as well as the Matthew McConaughey thing was I'm a big sports fan, big avid like sports guy, literally every sport, basketball, football, all that stuff. But recently I've been watching a lot of UFC, little MMA and stuff, and I've been watching Demetrius Johnson. He used to be a UFC fighter, transitioned to another fighting program, dominated, one of the best of all time, easily. But I've been watching a lot of his YouTube videos and stuff where he goes to competitions and competes and stuff. And whether he wins, loses, or draws, or his opponent wins, loses, or draws, he always expresses the value in the fact that who really cares? For example, if you and I were about to play each other in a sports game, We're about to, play each other in football, basketball, whatever, video games, whatever. It is very easy to get caught up in the competitive nature and the emotion that comes with that, which is fine. That is perfectly normal. That's being human. That's wanting to win and stuff. But then after you don't win and they win, or you guys lose, draw, or whatever, at that point, the competitive nature is done, and we're humans. And there shouldn't be any animosity. Whether you should have beat them or you made a mistake and they beat you or whatever. What Demetrius does so well is when he talks to his opponents after, either beating them or losing to them or whatever, like, hey, it's all good. We're in this together. We are doing this together. You put in just as much time or more as I did. You put in just as much effort or as time as I did as well. Like at the end of the day, you get to go home to your family, to your friends and everything, just like I do. There's nothing different between us. Just the fact that you beat me or I beat you. And it shouldn't change how we treat each other. Um, and if you are into any sort of MMA or mixed martial arts or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or anything, I would definitely recommend watching Demetrius Johnson's YouTube videos. They are very entertaining. He's a very funny guy. Even if you're not that type of person, he does a lot of gaming and stuff as well. A very nice guy. Um, I say that like I know him personally, which I don't, but still a great content creator. But it's just in a society where people struggle to see common ground, it baffles me because we're human. That is the common ground. I don't need to share interests with you. I don't need to like the same food as you, watch the same shows, movies, listen to the same music. Because, like I said, we breathe the same air. We walk on the same sidewalk, we drive on the same roads. Like, we're human, man. And it just really bothers me. And there's so many different aspects of life that you can tie into this. You can tie religion into it, spirit, can't say that word. I'm not good with S's. I lisp. Like spiritually, you can tie it in there. That's what I'm trying to say. Goodness, I apologize. Um, you can tie nature, business. Like there are so many things that you can tie into it, and so many ways you can look at being a human being, you know, and life in general. Um, I won't get too much into the religious aspect because I do have a few things planned with the podcast where I'm gonna get a good friend of mine on hopefully, and we're gonna dive into more religious aspects of life and stuff. So if you're into that things, please be aware that that is coming soon. Um, and I'm trying to get a little bit more consistent with my posting. It's just a little bit difficult right now because I'm transitioning back into the college semester. But besides the point, like let's break down the nature aspect of it. The trees, as you can see, there are trees right outside this window. There's multiple in that courtyard out there of the building I live in. They share the same water. They share the same earth. Their roots intertwine with each other. They're all these things. The squirrels all live on them and all that stuff. And there's not a problem. There's no issue. Trees live in harmony. Why? Because they share, because they're open, because they're a part of a loving thing of Mother Nature and the fact that we only have so much. Why not just experience it together? And that is something that, again, just you can look at an extreme level of politics or religion or, anything, or you can look at it as a very simply like, oh, that guy doesn't like the same music as me. Why would I like I don't want to get too into like the deeper things because that gets into uncharted territories a little bit and I'm also not that, uh, intelligent in some of those areas, but um like music for example. I like country music. He likes rap music. He likes R&B music. We can't hang out. We can't sit down and listen to music together. He wants to play rap music. Oh no, never. Never would I ever. Why? It's music. The same effort and time that goes into making country music is put into rap music, R&B, rock, soul, jazz, all these things. So why can't we value and appreciate all of it together? Why can't we come together and be like, hey, why do you like country music? Oh, I like country music because I like, this, and this. Oh, okay. I can see that. Me personally, that's not as important to me, but I can see why you would like those things. Why do you like jazz music? I like the saxophone. It sounds nice. It calms me down. Oh, okay. I can't relate to that. I don't think the saxophone calms me down, but I can see what you mean, and I understand that, and I respect that and value that. Why do you like, rock? Well, I like the, guitars and the drums and how it all comes together to make something beautiful and blah blah blah. There's so many intricate pieces, and you could say that about literally every music. Um, so it's just like, why can't we value and appreciate different aspects of life that are under the same construct together? Why can't we value things that we value separately together? You know, like going to like a football game or a basketball game professionally. I live in Buffalo, so go to a Bills game and the Steelers come here and the Steelers fans are pissed at me. Why are you pissed at me? We're sitting here enjoying the game together. You like the Steelers, I like the Bills. It's football. You know, you're spending your money to be here. I'm spending my money and time to be here, same as you. Let's enjoy it together. Oh, the Bills lost to the Steelers. Oh, the Bills stink. No, they don't. It just wasn't their day, you know? Um, let's value and appreciate what we have as people. Because that's another thing, is so many people are so not flat out ungrateful, but they're just not as open to what else is around them that it makes them ungrateful. And it goes back to being appreciative of what you have and stuff, kind of like I was getting into earlier. Um, and it's just like, hey, I have this, this, and this, and they don't. That doesn't make you better. That just means you have, more. And be appreciative of it and then share it. You know, if I got a bundle of, strawberries, and I really love strawberries, I got 100 of them, grew them myself, spent all this time and effort into growing them, and I want them all. I want all 100. But I know the guy next door likes strawberries too, and he's trying to grow some, but it doesn't rain as much down the road as it does over here. So he only has 7 strawberries. But man, he wants 10. Why can't I give him 3? Why can't I give him a little bit of my time and effort? Why can't I give, him a little bit of love and care and show him, hey, it's not raining down over here, and I don't know why it's not raining, but I know you wanted 10. Here's 3. I really wanted 100, but I'll take 97 because I know I can grow 3 more. He might not be able to grow 3 more right at that time. Now, maybe a month later, when the seasons change and it starts raining a little bit more down there, maybe he'll be able to grow 3 more on his own. And that's how it is. That's how we need to live life. Give to those who need, and then when they can get on their feet, they can give back to those who also need around them. And it's just shocking. And it really isn't as shocking as I'm making it seem because that's just the world we live in, where I'm going to do my own thing for me. And I'm not saying everybody does this because I know there's a lot of great charitable organizations and all people working to, better the lives of everybody around them. And I see a lot of things um, of people helping each other on social media and stuff. And it really makes me feel good. But like you look at the same people and it's like, you look at like Logan Paul. I'm going to make my own hydration drink because I've always wanted to make my own hydration drink. It was a dream of mine to have my own product and sell it to people. Wonderful, fantastic. You're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're doing your job. Fine. Use the platform you made with your time and effort to sell that. Fine. But then you got to develop other more things to trying to expose children and, you know, expose your product to make even more money. And you're not giving anything out, you know? I mean, I don't know all this stuff about Jake Paul and Logan Paul or whatever, you know. They probably do a bunch of charity work and stuff, but like I'm gonna use everyone else around me and the platform I have to get my own game without giving back. I don't see eye to eye with that. And not that I hold that against anybody, but it's like I just don't get why we can't be human beings. Why we can't sit here and appreciate what we have and share what we have. We live on a planet of finite resources that are slowly running out year after year. Let's slow down and share and enjoy our time together because it doesn't last. You know, instead of being mad at the guy next door or the guy above you for singing and dancing every night and keeping you up, go upstairs and sing and dance with him. Why the hell not? You know? You might not like the guy, but who cares? You're sharing that moment with him. You're sharing that moment with yourself. And it's stuff like that that makes you who you are, which again leads back to the whole beginning. And it's just funny to me because like we live in an ever-changing society. What's normal at this point in time is not normal 2 weeks later. Why? I wish I knew. You know, I'm only 19 years old, and every year of my life, I swear there's a new shoe to have, there's a new sweatshirt to wear. You know, everybody, oh my God, you got to get the essentials, fear of God stuff. Then it's, you got to get, you know, a Nike Tech and, you know, all this stuff. The shoe of the year is Vans. The shoe of the year now is Air Force Ones. Oh, Air Force Ones are stupid. That's so last year. What? They're shoes. Who cares what they are? I wear shoes like you wear shoes. They protect my feet as I walk on the ground. That's what they're supposed to do. I don't care what they are. You know, why hold that against somebody? Why be like, yo, what in God's green earth are they wearing? For what? Who cares? They're living life. They're enjoying themselves. Maybe that's all they can afford. Maybe that's all they are available to. Um, and it's just sad, you know, that people are so quick to judge others based on what they have and not what the person they're judging has. Well, I drive a BMW and that guy's driving a Ford. Pfft, loser. Who drives a Ford? And then the guy in the Ford, I'm driving a Ford. That guy over there, he's on a bicycle. Imagine being on a bicycle in this rain. Why? You know, I'm not saying go buy a car for that guy, but why push that man or woman or whoever down? You know, obviously they're not doing it right to their face, but they're speaking it out into the world, which is almost just the same thing. You know, I believe in karma. I believe in all that stuff. And why? We're human beings. He's going to work just like that guy in the Ford is going to work, just like the person in the BMW is going to work. You know, maybe they're working three different jobs, but they're still working. They're still going toward a goal to achieve. They're still chasing that person in 5 years. You know, it's just that their goals are different. The guy in the BMW is trying to go to a McLaren. The guy in the Ford is trying to go to a BMW. The guy on the bicycle is trying to go to the Ford. So why can't the guy in the Ford be like, hey, you want a Ford? This is how I got it. I went to college. I worked here and I worked here. I made these connections. Now the guy on the bicycle, okay, I understand. I have to make connections. I have to establish a job history. I have to establish a credit. And then in that 5 years, it's easier for that guy to get a Ford. Now the guy in the BMW goes to the guy in the Ford, you want a BMW? Cool, you went to college. Well, I went to college and then got my master's. Then after I got my master's, I got internships and established connections. So now the person in the Ford knows, hey, okay, let me go get more education. Let me go get more connections, get an internship, work harder. Then the person in the BMW, he looks into how to get a McLaren. And it's a domino effect like that because not everybody comes from the same area, the same idea of that they understand how the world works because the world, three towns over is different than the world in the town you live in. And that is the biggest disconnect in society and in the world that we don't see. It's not about, hey, here's 30 bucks, go get yourself a meal. Cool. You see a homeless guy on the side of the road, you give him a piece of fried chicken or something, whatever. Get him a bucket of chicken for KFC. That's great. Only lasts him one night. What's that do for anybody? Might be the best night of the guy's life, but that doesn't help him. Hey, you're going to be here at the same spot tomorrow. I'm going to come back around and we're going to try and turn your life around. We're going to raise a GoFundMe and get you a couple $1,000s to help you get cleaned up, help you check into rehab or whatever it might be, get you back in the job market so you can establish an actual societal uh, life for yourself and be an actual, like, member of society. Not that homeless people aren't a member of society, but it's it people, oh, here's a sandwich. This is all I got on me. Here's $5. This is all I got on me. Which amazing. That's doing the right thing. That's doing a good thing. And obviously I understand that not everybody's in the position to be like, hey, let's sit down and make you a GoFundMe and blah blah blah. But like we can raise awareness for these people. We can sit down and be like, hey, there's a McDonald's down the road. They got job openings. If you can do this, this, and this for yourself, clean yourself up, do this, this, and this, I will go get an application form, bring it right back to you. I'll fill it out for you and help you, and we can try to get you a job there, get you back on the road. And all sorts of things like those. And that is what I think is being a human being, not bringing others down, not looking at each other and being like, hey, this is dumb, this is stupid, what you're doing is wrong. I don't see eye to eye, I don't agree, but instead being like, we breathe the same air. We're both passionate in the same topics, just in different genres. Let's enjoy it together. Let's enjoy life together. There shouldn't be things that separate us as human beings. There shouldn't be things that separate us as people. Um, and I think that is the biggest part of my message here, I guess. And the fact that just the world we live in is so changing that we as human beings need to change with it. But we can't forget who we are as we change with things. It's important to have an identity and it's important to understand and know what you are and who you are and what you have and who you have and being able to notice and see that in others and being able to give out your hand and be like, hey, if you need something, let me know. I'm here. And even if they don't let you know, help them out some way. Hey, you want to ride to work today? I've been seeing you drive your bike through here every day. Let's show up 15 minutes early. I'll take you to work. Stuff like that. And I guess that's really all I got, you know. Um, I guess I'll talk a little bit more about like what the podcast is and what to expect. Like I said earlier, I have one friend that is in college, different college than me. I'm going to talk to him, hopefully get a time where we can sit down and record a podcast together. That'll be a little bit more religious focused. He is a religious man, just as I am. So if that's something you're interested in, that'll be coming out. Um, I have a couple more, a little bit more fun, not so deep podcasts coming out as well. I'm going to continue to do some by myself. They'll vary from being funny to silly to stupid and dumb, whatever, serious. Um, and if there's any topics you guys want to see, feel free to let me know. Um, so yeah, thank you for joining me and thank you for giving me your time. Have a good one.